the Las Vegas Raiders GM John Spytek told the media that there has been a good dialogue in regards to retaining cornerback Eric Stokes heading into free agency. Spytek noted they are open to bring back Stokes on a deal. Stokes was on a 1 year, $4 million deal. Now, I guess that's good news because there's a lot of Raider fans, and seeing what he did last year in 2025, I think he definitely is somebody to keep an eye on because he was one of our better players, especially in the secondary, a secondary that struggled all year long last year, but he definitely overplayed his expectations for the team. What are your thoughts on this, and do you believe that the Raiders should bring back Eric Stokes?
I do like Eric Stokes, and it was interesting to see, if he was going to have mutual interest in coming back because a lot of players did come over to play with Pete Carroll, and Eric Stokes is a guy that fit into Pete Carroll's system. But I think he loves the Raider Nation, and I think with Rob Leonard staying, it kind of motivates him to stay. But if I like we talked about it yesterday a little bit with Eric Stokes when we were doing our like little GM model, and
Yeah,
and I said that maybe a lot of people underestimate or they don't see how good Eric Stokes had of a season last year because he didn't have that interception. Like there was a couple times where it was right in his hands and he
yeah,
dropped it. I think especially like the last game, but he did play in 1,037 snaps last year. Like that's ridiculous. Like our
yeah.
defensive players were on the field a ton, and he didn't give up a lot of catches. I think receptions allowed. So in all those snaps or whatever. I think 1,037. I want to say 585 is the total of coverage snaps that he was in. How many receptions do you think he gave up in that 585 coverage snaps that he was in, or that he was charged for?
Like 200.
28.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It was pretty good, huh? Like
Yeah, that's
pretty
pretty
good.
good. Dude.
So,
I,
like, when you actually, like, break it down, and then he had another 46, tackles to go along with it, he was
yeah. See,
he
like like for me, like I didn't. I guess from the eye test, I didn't really think too much about it. I didn't think that he was like that great last year, but looking at a lot of the stats and the stuff that you bring up and other people bring up, I'm like, oh damn, he actually was good. And I also see that he allowed 0.6 yard per I forgot, but he was tied for the lowest yards allowed basically last year
yeah,
for a cornerback that played 200 snaps, which that's impressive in itself, and it does provide, like I think that he provides some stability in a weak cornerback room because we don't really have a lot of cornerbacks that are up there, and then he does have that experience as a veteran, so like I think those are all the right things to I guess the right things to bring him back in. If not, like he's going to be one of the top cornerbacks in this upcoming free agency. What would you say that he should get paid?
yeah, he's only 26 years old, and this is probably his best season because when he was with Green Bay, he was often injured, and Green Bay has a history of just drafting guys that don't fit their system, and that Eric Stokes was one of them.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure what his market is. I haven't looked at the sports tack and see.
Yeah. Let me
Um,
see.
but I know he's gonna want some money because he was rated the 18th best cornerback last year. 18th best out of 114 people that played that position last year. So I don't know. I don't know what would be fair for him. Is there like I guess we can look it up. Huh? It doesn't. Yeah, you want?
Around 7.4 mil.
Oh yeah. See, I was thinking closer to 10, but yeah.
I think it'd be around like 7 to 10. I think
Oh,
depending.
somebody said right here, bring him back, but only like on a 3 year, $15 million deal. So I
That's
mean,
5 million a year.
it's a little,
If
that's a
they
little bit
can,
more than what
then
he's
then
making.
okay. But I think, but even if, but you're okay with the closer to 10 mil then, if that was the case.
Well, I'm just saying, like the salary cap is going up again this year.
Yeah.
Everything goes up. I just saw that a kicker, the Dallas Cowboy kicker, is asking for $10 million. So like
Golly.
it's out there. Like I mean, Brandon Aubrey is one of the best kickers in the league, but $10 million for a kicker. I remember when did we sign Janikowski for $4 million, and that was like the highest at one time.
Yeah. But yeah, that price going up and up and up. But yeah, that's crazy. But he deserves it, right?
I mean, if they can
If they
continue
value
to
him
run
that
the
much,
system,
yeah.
and then it depends. Like if they're going to use him, and he was our number one cornerback last year, and um, I think if you're going to continue to and the Raiders see the future as him, and he has that future. I mean, like I said, he's only 26. You pay him the money that he wants, and it's a position of need a need that we need. And holy
Mhm.
crap! But I've always said if you build the defensive line correctly and you get that pass rush, it's going to help your secondary. So uh, I'm good with bringing back Stokes and
Yeah.
going from there as long as we help in other positions.
No, 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 for sure. And that, but I wouldn't mind bringing him back, but wouldn't want him. I wouldn't want them to stop there, right? Because there's going to be other cornerbacks that we could bring him, but I think he could definitely be like a piece there and a secondary, and possibly bring some of those guys from the Seahawks or just some other veterans that could possibly help out. But it's just good that he at least made the most out of his contract last year, the same way Devin White did. Even though our defense wasn't the greatest, we had some bright spots there.
So if they upgrade the defense, like say they bring in a pass rusher, they bring in a linebacker and another safety. So they kind of upgrade everything but the cornerback position, and they leave Eric Stokes and they leave Porter as the two starting cornerbacks last year. Would you consider that a failure in free agency?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't see that as a free agent, a failure because as long as they win and address a lot of positions elsewhere, because there are a lot of holes that the Raiders do have that they need to address, right? But cornerback would help, but it wouldn't be the end all be all. It would just, I feel like with a better pass rush, like you said, it would definitely help the secondary out. I don't think it's the end all be all, but as long as we address other positions, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, and I think if they keep adding to it, I would
Yeah.
like to add one or two, um, but I don't know. I don't know how upset I would be, like, if we ran it back this season with Eric Stokes and Porter as our starting cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially
I
especially
mean,
now that Porter
I don't
has a
want I don't
yeah.
want Kai Blue Kelly out there, but
Yeah, but see, but that's the thing. If we don't get no big names, like we go get some of these veterans that could possibly come over here and do something like say like a Dory Jackson, somebody that you could get a little cheaper than a lot of the top guys, or just somebody that could come in and fill in. Of course, we got Porter, and now Porter has a year under his belt where he maybe he does better in year two. Maybe not, but at least you can see. Well, I mean, because he was touted as one of the top guys coming out of the draft last year, so maybe we could get the most out of him. But I think this is a good step in the right direction, especially when you're looking at players to bring back on the team because there's not a lot of players that we're gonna resign though.